What the heck's happening to Victoria home prices? Hey, it's Willey. Lots to talk about on this update. We've had the biggest monthly price drop in detached homes in the last year, and I'll get to more on that in a little bit, but it definitely looks like this year will end the polar opposite of 2021. Last year, we had unconditional offers, homes being snapped up in a day, high prices, and prices were going through the roof. Definitely not the case. We're on the opposite end of the spectrum right now. Personally, I can't believe it's December already, and we're heading into what is the slowest time of the year for home sales in Victoria as we get closer to the holidays, and it's probably not going to help prices at all. So the Bank of Canada is scheduled to raise rates again in a week, and most analysts are expecting a quarter or a half point increase. Either way, it could be trouble ahead for variable rate mortgage holders. I was doing a little bit of research on it today, and half of all these people have now reached their trigger rates, and this comprises 13% of all mortgages in Canada. And the upcoming rate hike will probably push this number higher. We've also had some huge news last month with the ending of age and rental restrictions in BC stratas. So all in all, it's been a big month for real estate in Victoria. And in today's update, I'm going to give you a quick bird's eye view of the state of Victoria real estate, and then we'll dig into what it all means and where it may be headed. As always, I want to hear from you, so leave a comment below with your thoughts. So looking at the sales numbers, the biggest drop is in detached homes, down over 5% from this time last month. Townhomes are down 2.3%, and condos remained relatively flat. This is the biggest month-over-month decline in prices for detached homes of 2022. Year over year, we've come a long way from the peak. Detached home prices are down almost 20%, and the condos and townhomes are down 7%. The months of inventory continues to rise, and we're moving further and further towards a buyer's market. But as interest rates rise, the price drops don't help buyer affordability at all. And I know the buyers are still out there. I'm working with a lot of them, and now they're either priced out or they're waiting to buy for a more stable market, or they have this expectation that prices will come down further, and that's when they're going to jump in. Despite the falling prices, there's still not a huge amount of inventory hitting the market, and sellers don't seem to be rushing to list. I certainly had expected a lot more listings to come on the market. It just hasn't happened. I know my buyers are watching this situation and hoping to see a better selection or better caliber of homes, and that's just not the case. What we have happening is a pile-up situation of undesirable properties and overpriced properties sitting on the market longer and longer. It seems most of these listings are investors or flippers trying to unload an investment they don't want anymore as their monthly payments starting to rise. The good family homes, really desirable homes, they don't seem to be selling at much of a discount yet. Of course, there's always exceptions, such as estate sales or divorces or people sort of forced to sell. But generally, I don't see sellers rushing to sell because really there's nowhere better for them to go. It's a very hard market to move laterally in. The big question is, where are we headed in the new year? If next week interest rates go up another half point, then expect this downward trend to continue. If the Bank of Canada eases off, it could give buyers the stability that they want, and we could see prices start to level out. I'm very interested to see what happens in the spring when no doubt we'll get a lot more inventory, but how will buyers react to having more selection? Will it pile up on the market, or will the buyers come back, and can they even afford to come back in at that point? My next video is going to be about predictions in 2023. For example, I think the new BC strata age and rental restrictions being lifted is going to have huge impacts in those buildings. So that's one thing I want to talk about in the next video is watching those buildings. I also want to talk about the pre-sale market. So please stay tuned for that. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.